Aries. Aries symbol. The need to adjust your plans can become evident today, dear Aries, or the flaws of a venture reveal themselves. You may be feeling like taking a risk today, perhaps due to a craving for more meaning or excitement in your life. However, overshooting the mark is a strong possibility just for now with today's Sun-Jupiter transit in play. It might help if you prioritize or allow yourself some distance from a matter so that you can return to it refreshed and with more objectivity. Consider whether you've been going after something too quickly. If expectations need some adjusting, it can help reduce the pressure. If you've been stretching yourself too thin, you now recognize the need to focus. Avoid taking on too much. Taurus. Taurus symbol with the Sun-Jupiter square today, dear Taurus, restlessness can either motivate you to make improvements or lead you astray. This transit has a way of showing us where we're not meeting our expectations. Try not to let impulses rule, as they are unlikely to lead you down the right path. If you can manage to avoid overdoing, you'll conserve energy for authentic opportunities later on. Don't let others goad you unless you do need a push to get going. Whether to stick with tried and true methods or to try something new can be the issue now, but making hard and fast decisions should probably wait. Of course, something good may come of a restless mood, such as a plan to improve your life, and you'll get a better idea of your next step. Gemini. Gemini symbol. The day seems to challenge you to break out of a rut or a pattern that's preventing you from growing, dear Gemini. Be as mindful as possible, for if you act out without self-awareness, you may be taking risks, overpaying, or jumping into, or leaving, something too quickly. Alternatively, uncertainty about your income or security can interfere with your work or health goals today. Today's Sun-Jupiter square can magnify underlying feelings of dissatisfaction with the status quo. Or, you could feel overwhelmed with possibilities to the point that you don't know where to put your energies. When this happens, it's a good idea to start with a small task and then work your way up to bigger ones. Avoid the trap of overdoing something since it will only serve to aggravate a problem. You may be seeing problems in your plans and feel temporarily deflated as a result. Part of you wants to go out and conquer the world, but without a solid plan, you could be feeling unsatisfied. Besides, you know that even if you did branch out, your work or tasks would be waiting for you when you got back. Explore your feelings, but perhaps wait to act on them when there is steadier energy. Cancer. Cancer symbol. The Sun forms a square to Jupiter today, dear Cancer, and there can be some ups and downs with your mood. With this transit, problems tend to come from overestimating our, or life's, capabilities, overblown egos, or too high expectations. You may be a little extravagant, or a relationship matter may be misconstrued. With this influence, your eyes open to areas of life that need improvement, and your best bet will be to get excited about making improvements rather than focusing on what's out of balance. You're a little more rebellious, restless, and curious than usual, and you should probably resist the urge to rebel or react impulsively if things are not going the way you expected them to. Aim to honor your need for a change of scene, then come back fresh. Getting rid of extras and distractions so that you can get a sense of your priorities makes the most sense today. Leo. Today's Sun-Jupiter square can play with your mood, dear Leo. Your expectations can leave you feeling vulnerable to mood swings if you've recently set them too high, primarily with relationships. It may be best to listen to what others are saying, but stay centered enough to communicate with your feelings. Do keep in mind that while people are prone to exaggeration today, in general, whatever they're experiencing seems real to them. As well, consider that changes in schedule or routes may lead to new and exciting connections, but avoid creating more problems for yourself by doing too much. Your expectations can leave you feeling vulnerable to mood swings if you've set the bar too high. With your instincts telling you one thing and people in your life telling you another, decision-making isn't easy temporarily. It may be better to take things easy. Virgo. As you have many interests, dear Virgo, routine seems to bring out the worst in you today. There are times when it comforts you, but routine may remind you of your discontent with the Sun-Jupiter square active now. Or, you might feel overloaded as taking on too much in recent times is catching up with you. You could be feeling a little scattered or impatient at times, and it's best to watch for an inclination to act from a place of emotion rather than reason. It may not be an ideal time for productivity, but stirrings now may prompt you to make fundamental changes. If you aim to keep your sense of humor and draw on your common sense, it can be a strong day for gaining a good understanding of your needs. Libra. With today's Sun-Jupiter square, there may be an air of discontent today, dear Libra, but also the chance to see where you might improve your life. If you're frustrated about not having a clear goal or path, you might consider focusing on smaller tasks for now until things fall into place. If you're feeling on edge, however, you're inclined to indulge or take on too much. Instincts for financial matters may be out of step, making it a good idea to postpone big purchases. The temptation to borrow from the future is high. It would be wise to avoid overstating or committing now. Feelings are especially strong related to love, money, values, and self-worth. It's best not to allow promises to sway you just for the time being. Fortunately, there is good energy for creativity around the home. Your eye for what works well together, patterns, and harmony is in top form now. Scorpio. If there are latent feelings of restlessness or discontent with your life, transits today are likely to pull them up, dear Scorpio. You can be particularly moody with home or family matters. If this discontent inspires you to take action, then it's productive and supportive, but if it leaves you hanging and feeling listless, you might want to remind yourself that what you have now is likely enough for the moment. Others might come up with wild ideas, but avoid putting your faith in promises made to you right now. A long-term plan may need adjustments. However, you might enjoy pouring love and energy into a hobby, the arts, or other forms of entertainment. Sagittarius. It can be a challenging time to discipline yourself with a Sun-Jupiter square today, dear Sagittarius. This transit has a way of highlighting discontent, and restlessness is possible. Ideally, this state of mind leads to genuine efforts to improve and bring about better conditions in your life. However, consider that with emotions running high today, we may not be the best judge temporarily. Watch for wastefulness or overindulgence, since these are classic diversions we use to make ourselves feel better when Jupiter is challenging. It's better to take stock of what you've accomplished and then figure out where adjustments may be needed or perhaps where to change course. Moderation may not be intuitive right now, but will probably serve you best. Aim to think big when mapping plans out while being realistic with your expectations. Capricorn. Recent excesses have a way of reaching the point of consequences today, dear Capricorn, with the Sun square to Jupiter. The day can be another temperamental one if you are feeling overwhelmed. With love and friendship, watch for too high expectations. There may be a tendency to want to impress someone, or you could simply be feeling generous, but overspending and even overstating could be a problem with today's transits. Situations with a friend could be loaded, and there may very well be far more to them than meets the eye. Try to see beyond the sensations of the moment. Expectations are high, but the desire to put forth effort is temporarily low, which is a big mismatch. However, you might get to enjoy some personal time or discover exciting new interests. Aquarius. The Sun and Jupiter challenge one another today, dear Aquarius, and you could encounter blocks or resistance to your plans. These may be hinting that it's probably not the best time to push forward and enforce your will just for now. You can have a strong desire to go your own way when the world seems to want something else. Tensions can stem from a feeling of restlessness with rules and regulations, and errors tend to be due to missing details or overshooting. The potential for going over the top runs high right now. Try to center yourself today, as the inclination is to scatter your attention and your energies. Avoiding exaggeration and presumption will get you in a better position to enjoy the day. Pisces. With today's Sun-Jupiter square, dear Pisces, you could feel a little overwhelmed as many different things seem to stand in the way of doing what you want or need to do. If poor choices or mistakes happen today, they result from boredom or restlessness that distracts you from the tasks at hand. You might go overboard helping someone or doing things for others and then find little time to attend to the rest of your life, for example. It's best to get in better touch with your true desires before taking action today. Making adjustments and compromises makes sense before going forward.